Good evening, everybody. I'm your host, Poonam Kukreja. Welcome you all to the exclusive webinar where we're talking about scope of hotel management and its benefits. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to first introduce Mr. Pradeep Kumar Chandel, founder chairman of Hospitality Ki Pathshala. Mr. Pradeep Kumar Chandel is a senior hotelier, educationist, and social worker. As the national president and chairman AHPWI, he decided to educate especially young men, women who could not afford costly HMCT education. His learning method is very easy and course fee is very low. He is also honorary member for National Blind Association of India. I would like to humbly request all the BMs and HR fraternity to promote the education in the country. In the beginning of his career, he saw all the shades of industries and decided to educate the hotel community. He personally feels that an educated employee can earn better and same time he can give light to other employees also. He wants to educate more than 50,000 hospitality community people in India. He is seriously involved in the welfare of hospitality community, blind and deaf dumb children and girl education. And so he started Hospitality Ki Pathshala, an online education portal for hospitality industry. Hospitality Ki Pathshala aims to become a major contributor in Atmanirbhar Bharat and self-dependent. Hospitality Ki Pathshala believes in Sabke Saath Sabka Vikas and hence focuses on skill development of every person, whether from developed cities or from smaller villages, and provides hassle-free admissions. The courses are very easy to access and learn. They have famous and renowned mentors from all the over world. Hospitality Ki Pathshala takes up special programs for married women also. They believe in the motto of Padega India, Tabhi Badega India. So that was a small introduction for our founder chairman, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Sande, and Hospitality Ki Pathshala. People, can we have a round of applause on this lovely start? Everybody who can watch us, can we have a round of applause on this? So let's take this webinar ahead, and it's my honor to now introduce Dr. Professor Sudhir Kumar Andrews, a distinguished professor in management at Skillmaker Consultancy and a doctor of literature. Dr. Professor Sudhir Andrews has an experience of over 40 years in education, training and development and corporate HR management field. A winner of both national and institutional awards, including Rashtriya Gaurav Award and Rajiv Gandhi Award for Excellence, author of 11 hospitality management books published by McGrew-Hill Education. He has set up hospitality schools in India and the Middle East, both in private and public sectors, to create quality professionals. Ladies and gentlemen, with a big heart, please welcome Dr. Professor Sudhir Andrews.
Well,
welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I hope you and all your family are well and safe.
Yes.
I'm very honored actually to be given this opportunity to introduce Hospitality Ki Pathshala. Now, this was the brainchild of Professor Pradeep Kumar Chandel and also myself. So the objective of this was to uplift the community who are disadvantaged. Okay, so we have devised certain programs which are very cheap and to the point and will empower our people um, in the rural areas and in other disadvantaged areas to to get their skill to get a job as well as to enhance their programs. Now, the program has two sections to it. One is that um, it has a certificate program, which is very skill based. Now, what is happening in India today is the massive uh, movement of people from rural areas into cities. Okay, as a matter of fact, in the COVID 19 figures showed that 55 million people had gone into cities, and this is only going to grow. So they'd also need some sort of those skills which are very easy to translate and to learn. So these certificate programs are giving them a fillip to get employment. The second very important thing is the diploma program. That is for working people who wish to, uh, who have got good experience, but may not have the certification to rise to a supervisory level. So we are going to give this program, which is not so skill based, but more of knowledge based. Okay, so that is the thing that is planned. Now, all these programs have come under the inspiration of Atman Vihar and of self reliance, and also Skill India. So we hope that through this we will be able to 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 uplift our communities. Now, the thing is that the programs are very flexible in the sense that people can learn it from self study, or they can learn it through e-classrooms, or they can come to physical classrooms. So this is very flexible, and people who are wanting to work and study could be able to adjust these kind of programs very well. Of course, it was mentioned earlier that we want to spread our wings to housewives who now can work from home in various aspects of hospitality. And a very important question that everybody may ask, and that uh, is there a future in hospitality? And my answer is a very strong yes, because we have a new generation called the millennials. They're generation Y and Z, and they are
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Professor Sudhir Andrews, who gave us a small brief on this webinar. All right, people. So, with me, on behalf of Hospitality Ki Pathshala, me, Poonam Kureja, it's my honor to now welcome and introduce our chief guest of the webinar, Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, a lodging industry study. Veer Vijay Singh, MSCIMA, carries with him more than 40 years of involvement with the field, having worked with the Taj Group of Hotels from the mid 70s when he began his vocation as a student culinary specialist. He has gone through the most recent 6 years dispatching and becoming the Vivanta by Taj brand as the chief operating officer. Mr. Singh's experience depends on the solid information on hoteliers, which he has acquired throughout the years through very key duties. Veer Vijay has been respected with the Hall of Fame Lifetime Contribution in Hospitality Award coordinated by Pacific Area Travel Writers Association at the ITB Berlin 2013 and was regarded indeed with the Hall of Fame award by Hotelier India magazine in 2014. In his mission to improve and add to the accommodation business, Veer Vijay Singh has been effectively engaged with the renowned public level friendliness alliances. Ladies and gentlemen, with this honor, put your hands together for Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, our chief guest of this webinar. A round of applause for him.
Good evening.
Welcome,
Good
sir.
evening.
Welcome to this webinar. We're so
Thank,
proud. I'm honored to share this screen with you. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
thank you so much for your kind words, Poonam. I think I'm very humbled. Pradeep Chandel ji, good evening. And to all our panel speakers today and many people who are listening, I would like to wish you a good evening, and I hope you are all having a safe and good health. I must first and foremost compliment Pradeep Chandel ji and Mr. Sudhir Andrew for starting this exercise of Hospitality Ki Pathshala. I think it's a wonderful thought, and people are not paying much attention to training today. Even international groups which are coming are sometimes just taking trained staff from old hotel chains. But I think the most important part is continuously have training programs, continuously keep training our staff, continuously get people, young people who are well trained. So I think it's an extremely important exercise. And as the government of India, which is also having the similar thoughts of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, I think this is a program which is aiming at the lower criteria and the lower strata of staff who sometimes are not getting the opportunities of going to just catering colleges and not getting properly trained. It is also aiming at women. So I think this is an extremely good exercise. And to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think it's important that this is really given full support. So I'm very happy to be participating today in this exercise. And I hope that we can surely give support to you whenever it is possible. Coming to the topic, I think a lot of people thought that this talk today is going to talk about hotel management. Some people thought, would we be discussing the different aspects and different styles of management in hotels? But that's not what it is. It's, I think, more aiming at the young generations who are looking at joining catering colleges, joining hotel management colleges, and making the careers in this industry. So I think it's to make it very clear, it's aiming at the young students. Today, the students are, I think, very concerned. They're a little heartbroken, if I can say, thinking that with this pandemic, there has been very difficult to get jobs, and they feel what will happen to the careers. I really wish to inform these young students, please do not have any fear. There are so many hotels coming up. Many of the projects were lying unfinished. These are already starting. Hopefully, we will all get completed in 2022 or 2023. So there are going to be a lot of jobs that are going to come through. So please do not get disheartened. That's number one. Secondly, this hotel management programs do not only train you, and as two of my colleagues had spoken in the last seminar or the webinar, which is Mr. P.K. Mohan Kumar, as well as Mr. Arun Nayyar, they had given you a very wide, I think, discussion took place where they talked about the various opportunities which are there, not only in the hotel, but in other sister industries. You could go into banks, you could go into call centers, you can go to hospitals. So there are many jobs that are, which can be, because the training in hotel management institutes is rather strong, practically as well as theoretically. So basically moving ahead, I think we all know about tourism and the strength that tourism has. 10% of the GDP of India's GDP comes through the tourism sector. So I think we all know that. So I'm not going to take too much time and spending time on basically giving you more ideas about this. But let me move ahead. What we have experienced, and I have experienced in the last so many years that I have been with the Taj, which is nearly 40 years. And even now, when I'm trying to have my own management company, there's always a shortage of well-trained staff. Yes, people, there are countries like Singapore, which just had Shatek or maybe one or two institutes. India has far many more hotel management schools, which is good. The National Council for one itself has maybe 30, 40 of them. There are a couple of very, very well-known private catering colleges like Aurangabad, Manipal, and the Oberoi itself, OCLD. So there are some very good catering colleges here. That I think is nice. But what is very important, and for students when they select these catering colleges, is to see 3-4 things. Most of them will give you a very good prospectus and will give you a very good picture. But I think it's very important for the students to keep in mind that they select an institute with 4-5 important pillars which they should be having. The first and foremost is the infrastructure. Unfortunately, a lot of these colleges are sometimes built in a very small residential villa or a house. Now, that is not acceptable. You should have a proper campus. The infrastructure should be well done. And that's very important for every student to see, maybe personally visit these colleges before they apply. The second is, what is the curriculum, the course material? Because if you do not know what is the course material, of course, we know that they teach you on the 4 departments, which is food and beverage service, food and beverage production, front office, and housekeeping. But other than that, there are many subjects. There's nutrition, there's basic science, there's French, there is finance. And these are all changing now. So you must see what is the curriculum. Then what is the affiliation that they have with which university, which gives you a degree or not giving you a degree? Is it just a diploma? Or are they having any affiliations with international universities? These are some very, very critical things that you must see. The other things is, what is the past records of getting jobs? Most of these institutes are having campus interviews. And for third-year students, before they pass, you normally get a very good job already before you finish your final examination. Because very good hotel chains always visit them, but they also are seeing the same thing. What category of institute is yours? Is it got good infrastructure? Does it have good curriculum? Do they have good teachers? Do they have got affiliations with international universities, or they don't? So they will come to your institute provided you are choosing one of the good institutes. Second is always, if I compare these institutes with international institutes, I personally feel that Indian institutes of hotel management are as good, if not better. Yes, some of the curriculum is changing. There are times we were teaching the 11 courses of French classical menu. The time has changed. Today, people are becoming much more interested in case studies. They want to know that if you want to open a restaurant or a hotel, how would you open it? And what is the amount of finance you require? What are some of the lessons that you require? So case studies are becoming more like you normally have in MBAs. So always see that. I've also noticed my son went to École de Hôtelier Lausanne. And there also I realized that 70% of the students were not joining the hotel industry. Now, why it's happening? Maybe because some of the jobs in the hotels were making it too difficult. There was very limited time we were giving our people. There was not proper family balance time. So these were some of the concerns. The salaries may not be so good. So I think it's important for the hotel industry also to see that we make these jobs interesting. A lot of people say, why don't I just do a graduation? I remember in 1971, when I finished my school, I had a choice to do a graduation or join hotel management. I'm very thankful to my parents and to people who advised me. I went straight to a hotel management program, which was in Pusa in Delhi. And that really helped me a lot, because just doing graduation was not going to get me anywhere. So I think it's important that you make a plan. Why are you doing this? And what will you get after doing this program? The second most important thing which I want to speak, apart from choosing a good institute, is are you really inclined to this industry? As it is said that you should, there's a very famous saying that if you choose a job that you like, then you never work a single day in your life. I worked 40 years and I promise you that I've enjoyed every day working in the industry. Every day has been so unique, every day has been so different. We met so many different types of personalities of people, VIPs, difficult people also. And I think that also is a great learning. Many of those people who complained and became our great friends. So you learn the ability of being able to handle different people. So do you have that profile for being a hotelier? Sometimes some people who really join in may not be able to get fit into these kind of profiles. So it's very important that you choose it rightly, because after you finish your hotel management and you don't get a job, it can become very difficult for you also, because you spend a lot of time and a lot of money, and then you finally have landed up not getting a job. So please take some mentor, ask them, what do you think you will work? Will you be interested in kitchens or housekeeping? Or are you one of the front of the house soldiers which can work in food and beverage service or front office? Try and ask these things and see, does your personality fit into that? So I have tried to keep about 10 things which are extremely important for young students if they want to become a successful hotelier. And I'm just going to share them. These are nothing that is not come from any theory. It's only come to me by practicality. And so I'm going to just share with you 10 important things that I think a young hotelier aspiring to be in these catering colleges and do well should keep in mind. First and foremost, he must have the desire to serve the guest. Are you one of those people who feel shy of going ahead and picking up something from the floor? Do you feel shy picking up a dirty plate on the table? These are some of the things that you really need to understand, that if you are one of those conscious persons who's very conscious about these things, then it may not be the right place for you, unless you want to be in the kitchen. But if you're in the kitchen, are you willing to, cut vegetables, clean meats? Are you able to do that? So please, if you have the desire to serve the customer, then I think it's the number one point that you should keep in mind. Number two, you have to be in this industry ready for hard work. Basically, they say that nothing in life can succeed without hard work. So this is one of the industries where you really have to work hard. If you're not ready for that, it can be, I think, a difficult industry. Because you like it or not, it works 24 hours, 7 days in a week, 365 days in a year. And when people are celebrating, having fun for Diwali or Holi or Christmas or New Year's, we are working. So if you're ready for that, remember that you like it or not, sometimes there would be long hours. Things are changing. We are trying to see work-life balance. You will get more times nowadays for you to spend with family, better than what it used to be in our times. But yet, you have to be ready for long hours, because you can't tell a customer that, sir, we have closed the restaurant, now you must get up and leave. You could have taken the last order at 3 p.m. for lunch. But if he wants to sit down till 4 p.m., you can't literally ask him to get out. So you have to be ready for that. The third is you have to have a lifestyle and a personality. This is not an industry where you just go and sit in a bank, you don't smile, you don't care what kind of dresses you wear. Today, you see people in different places, in airports, in cinema theaters, wearing bathroom slippers, wearing tracksuits, not appropriately dressed. I think that is not something that's going to be appreciated. So one has to have lifestyle. You should understand that, and one needs to develop a personality. There has to be, fourth would be good language. You have to be able to speak well. Whatever it is, it could be English, it could be Hindi. Of course, in our industry, in the star category, English speaking is most important in India. But in some other countries, it could be French or it could be Chinese. But language is extremely important. There has to be a passion for excellence. I would say the fifth thing would be passion for excellence. One has to say that whatever I do, I will do to the best of my ability. You should have the attention for details. You should be able to see the finer things. The housekeeper should go to the room and in immediately she should be able to say what are the 4 or 5 defects that she sees. The sixth, I would say, is the desire to interact with people. So this industry is people, people, and people. The most important being the customer. The second being, of course, our own colleagues, our owners, and the people that we interact with, our vendors, contractors. So it is continuously interaction that needs to be done. So you need to be prepared for that. You should be somebody who likes that, who likes interacting with people. The next being personal health. This is an industry where you always need to be fit. You need to practice yoga or some physical health or meditation, because you will have different long hours. I mean, I always compliment whatever you say, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji. You can't take it away from him, whatever somebody might say. But last 7 years, he has been there every day, 18 hours or more. Whatever has happened, he's been there working. Now, for that, you need to have a strong physical well-being, and that is very, very important also in our industry. You can't come to a job and say, I've got a headache, so please leave me today. I'm not going to be in my best behavior. The eighth being, you have to be innovative and creative. Once upon a time, the industry was very, very fixed. Things happened only in a particular manner, and that's how you did. So if it was 11 courses of menu, it was particular kind of old world wines. Things are changing. New world wines are coming up with different shortcut methods. You don't have to follow the entire old methods of winemaking. Things are changing. So one has to be more innovative, more creative. We talked about fusion cuisine. We talked about different kinds of food that is coming up. That's continuously changing. So you need to be prepared for that. The ninth being leadership skills. You always, if you will grow, you will have more people who will work under you. You should be able to have all the leadership skills of sensitivity, flexibility, handling people with care, understanding their problems, getting them motivated. That is something that you will always be requiring to have. And last but not the least is being able to present yourself well. It is important. I remember my old boss, Mr. V.S. Mahesh, who was our head of our HR, used to say that it's extremely important to do a work, but it's more important to show how you've done it. So it's very important that you should be able to present yourself. There are many general managers sometimes I find who are very shy, who will not come in front, will not talk to the customers, or will, whenever the problem happens, will try and shirk it. But that's not the right way of doing it. You must have good presentation abilities. You should be able to present your case well, and you should have debating abilities. If you want to say something about a particular point, you should be able to debate it and put it forward properly. So these are some of the things which I think are very critical for young hoteliers who are aspiring to be managers tomorrow. I just want to reiterate and say, do not get disheartened. There are going to be great opportunities. I know organizations like Taj and Marriott's and many others are really growing very fast. And there will be always a need to have proper trained staff. So young students who are in catering colleges, even if you have to do something different for the next 6 months or 1 year, do not get disheartened. And as Mohan Kumar said, and even Arun Nair said, that this is a training program which gets you ready not only for jobs in hotel industry, but other industries, and more so to make you an entrepreneur. So many of you can tomorrow become entrepreneurs. You can start small businesses because it trains you for all that too. So with this, I would like to wish each and every young student, young hotel aspirational person to not give up, look at this opportunity of joining hotel managements, and to Pradeep ji and his team, Mr. Sudhir Andrew, and even I'm nowadays involved. We are looking forward to making Hospitality Ki Pathshala a grand success. And many of you should use this opportunity of e-learning, which is now the way to go. You don't have to go to classes. So e-learning, join these programs, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Valuable thoughts, your motivation to the generation, and it was Lovely to hear you sitting here with us. All right. So after,
Thank you, Chandel.
so
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
thank you so much, sir. So as you people saw that in Doctor's Professor Sudhir Andrews, there was some technical issue. So we'll be, it's an honor again to hear him back. So he's here joining us today. So we'll ask him to please come and please proceed with his remaining speech for next 5 minutes. If he has joined us back. He's not there. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, he has not joined us so far.
Oh,
Okay, he's here with us. Yes, sir. Over to you.
This is for me.
Yes.
Hello. Okay. I'm so sorry, and my apologies to everyone that I had a power failure at this site, so my Wi-Fi got switched off. Anyway, let me, since there's a shortage of time, let me take just 3 minutes of yours by saying uh, the question, should we join the hospitality industry? I say very much yes, for the simple reason that the new generation, which is the millennials, that is Gen X and Y, they are completely fixed on travel. You know, travel has become a passionate desire of theirs, and they will be traveling quite a lot. And therefore, the future of travel and tourism, and as consequently the hotel industry, everything is going to be very good. There is only a little difference, and that is that people will like to go to remote resorts, places where there are fewer people, and will be able to go into nature. The old traditional going into seeing all these forts and things like that is going to go away. This new generation is totally different. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, everybody aspires to join the branded hotels. By branded hotels, I mean those hotels who have one name for several properties of theirs. Just like you have Taj, and you have the Oberois, and you have Welcome Group and Hyatts and Marriotts of the world. Everybody would like to join them. That's fine, but they only constitute 4% of the total room inventory. Now, that means 96% of room inventory is in the unbranded sector. What a huge opportunity is there, especially for people who are coming from rural areas into the city, to take up jobs in areas where uh, uh, erstwhile nobody went, but now this new generation are going to go. So there's going to be a lot of, as they say, sustainability, where people will be encouraged to run their own little tourism activity in their spot. So there is a great future, I feel, about the hospitality. And then the big hotels, of course, are going to go into technology in a very big way. So we don't want to go there. The other non-branded hotels are the ones um, who are sticking to the old traditional, the traditional uh, ways of running hotels. So that's it. I don't want to take more time because I look forward to hearing the others. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thanks a lot, sir, for sharing your valuable experience with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we proceed ahead, and it's time to call our third speaker, and he's none other than Mr. Dipendra Benjamin. Mr. Dipendra is a strategic leader offering over 3 decades of experience in establishing and operating hotels and resorts building and sustaining relationships, marketing, business development, innovative concepts to enhance businesses, developing and executing the strategy to build scalable processes and that grows and enhances internal controls of running hotels business involving sales and brand promotion are his specialties. Employee management, inventory alignment of guest expectations, augmented business growth, and scaled up and streamlined hotel operations by setting up over 36 new hotels against 12 in 2012. Handled approximately 300 plus teams, currently working as founder CEO of Morpho Hotels. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Dipendra Benjamin. Welcome
Thank,
him with a big round of
thank you.
applause. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Poonam, for the introduction. Good evening to everyone. Thank you to Pradeep Chandel ji for giving me this opportunity. Honored to speak about hospitality ki Pathshala, and I further uh, elaborate more on a career in hospitality industry. Uh, of late, we've been hearing a lot of confusion in the student community, especially with the ongoing pandemic, with the ongoing situation with regards to hospitality as a career. And I would firmly like to share with each one of you that this is an option that you should definitely look. Hospitality is an industry which you should definitely look as a career. The ongoing situation is a temporary phase that we are going through. There have been many instances in the past where we've seen, ups and downs. It may be a twin tower attack, or it may have been a market crash, or it may have been a attack of one of the iconic hotels in our country. But we normally always come back, and I'm very sure and confident that the industry will come back as we see the recent comeback which is happening in many parts of the world, specific to if we talk about the market in US or GCC, or and even India. In the when the first wave after the first wave after the lockdown was removed, we saw business coming back to almost 70% of what we used to do in 2019. So having said that, I would like to encourage the student community to definitely look at hospitality as a career, and it is definitely a good option, because this particular uh, career also gives you the possibility of venturing into a career which is much more easier in comparison to the other options that you have, keeping in mind the competitive society that we live in. If you compare it to the medical or the engineering careers that we have today, it's pretty tough. Even the entrance exams are pretty tough. And the hotel management and the skills development that you require for this particular industry is much more easier. It's not all that tough to get into this industry. Yes, definitely, as a couple of seniors on the panel have already said, you need to have that passion, you need to have that desire, you need to have that zeal, you need to have that perseverance, and above all, that patience to be part of this industry. Uh, Also, what is important for you to know is that I don't know if you know about this. Hospitality as such has been one of the fastest growing industries in the world, and with every evolving situation that we come across, there is a lot of evolvement that takes place in the industry also. And job openings that have also come in, not only just specific to the front office or the food and beverage, but also more and more options that are coming in the quality controls or hygienic conditions or protocols that have to be followed for many other situations that we are going through across. So it is definitely a growing industry which has ample of opportunities, as Veer Vijay Singh sir just shared with you all that job opportunities are plentiful over there. We as a company at Morpho Hotels and Resorts have also been hiring during this pandemic, and Of late, just about 15 days back, I was sharing the other day with Mr. Chandel that we have appointed two senior resources also. So there is definitely ample opportunity. Also, this industry, you come across a lot of diversity, because this industry is a industry where you come across people, guests from all walks of life, from different parts of the world, from different countries, from different cultures, speaking different languages. So it develops and helps you in developing a personality which comes across quite challenging situations in handling your guests. So it's a great exposure. It also, not only just when you talk about the guest handling, but also on the other end, in your teams, you would have people who come from different parts of the world and come with different innovative ideas and different languages. So it is an industry which also adds on a lot to diversity. Uh, when we talk about the hospitality industry, there is a lot of scope for you to grow. In my career of more than 3 decades, I have seen and I've experienced that many join the industry or the hotel in a pre-opening stage or in that training stage, and they continue to work, and definitely they are rewarded and they grow into much more bigger roles of managing positions, which can be something, a great achievement when you opt for this particular industry. You can also look at this particular industry as industry which has not just hotels, but it has other avenues also. For example, if you look at the cruise line business or the airline business, and this can be a good option because you can go all around the world at no cost to you, because airlines and cruise lines, they take you around the world, and along with work, you are actually going to the best of the locations and destinations of the world. uh, Having said that, you also come across and develop great amount of your own skills on the day-to-day working in this particular industry, because this helps you are interacting on a daily basis with guests from different walks of life, and interactions just don't stop at the reception of a hotel. It's in every department, maybe the food and beverage department or maybe the wellness department. So your interactions or and facing different situation enhances your career and helps in and becomes very crucial in your career advancement, because with every passing day you are acquiring more and more skills and you're professionally growing in this particular industry. So having put that across, I would also like to definitely encourage you all about Hospitality Ki Pathshala, which is an online portal which quite a lot has already been shared by Veer Vijay Singh ji and Dr. Sudhir Andrews. But yes, for the hospitality professionals, there's also a discount that is being offered. It's a online portal course which is very easy to assess, focusing major onto the tier 2 cities, and also they have a course which focuses on women. So that's also very encouraging. It's very easy, that's hassle free to get admission into this. So I would like to encourage you all to definitely look at this particular industry, which has not only growth but has diversity, which can be enjoyable. You can enjoy while working in this particular industry. Yes, you definitely have to have the patience, and if you put in your best with and be if you're passionate about what you're doing, your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and you are definitely rewarded for this, for whatever efforts you're putting in. And that's what is my experience of 33 years in this industry. I have seen that people have grown and prospered and done very well in this industry. That's all that I had to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
So that was Mr. Benjamin. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experience with us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to invite and introduce Mr. Arif Mohammed. Mr. Mohammad Arif, a professional with more than 20 years of experience in sales and marketing administration. He has worked with some of the finest brands in India and led them towards being one of the best. He is very talented, hardworking, and most importantly, very honest towards his profession and the people. Mr. Arif is currently working as a senior vice president at the Earth Suite, repeatedly being hired and commended by owners for improving bottom line margins while increasing quality and service in organizations ranging from 200 to 600 employees and rupees 25 to 75 crore budgets. He specializes in building strong teams and efficient system of to positively impact startup businesses growth and downstream objectives. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Arif Mohammed.
Thank you, Ms. Kukreja. Thank you, Ms. Kukreja. But then I would recommend and request that Mr. Shoaib comes before, because I don't want to skip the format. As per format, he's a very senior gentleman to me, and I should be the last person to speak. So introduction has already happened. I will just immediately start off after Mr. Shoaib speaks. Kindly introduce Mr. Shoaib and get Mr. Shoaib online, please. For me,
Surely,
it's
because
not
of
right
some
to speak
technical
before
issues.
him.
Yeah, actually, I had got the news from the technical backstage team. That's why I introduced you first. I
No,
believe
no,
he's
no,
senior.
no,
He
no.
was in the flow first.
No, 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 no.
All right.
You are
So,
absolutely
ladies
fine.
and gentlemen,
You're absolutely
done,
fine.
done.
But
I got you, sir. I
for
got
me,
you,
it
sir.
is not. I can't disrespect my seniors. No.
Understand the hierarchy, sir. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's again, as you said, the very senior person with a very hardworking and amazing personality, Mr. Mohammad Shoaib. And he is a complete hospitality professional who can undoubtedly be termed as the opening expert. Considering his active participation in the pre-opening teams of almost 5 hotels in the last decade, Mohammad Shoaib, Associate Vice President, Pride Plaza Hotel, Aerocity, New Delhi, is a veteran in the industry with vast experience, acute business acumen, and the perfect human touch necessary to carve a niche in the field of hospitality. He was the first Indian GM ever to be hired with the Novotel brand of Eco Group. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Mohammed Shoaib. Welcome, Mr. Mohammed Shoaib. Hello, sir. Welcome, sir.
Hello, very good evening to all of you. And thanks for the patience for all the people. Arif, thank you so much for putting me first. I mean, it wasn't necessary, but I really commend your, your gesture to make me come through first. I would like to thank, first of all, Mr. Pradeep and Mr. Sudhir Andrews to give us an opportunity to interact with the budding hoteliers. I know this pandemic has been quite bad for the hospitality. However, things are coming back. As we speak today, my hotel will have about 290 rooms occupied tonight out of 385. So the hospitality numbers in the business hotels also in Delhi, especially the Aerocity, is growing. So we are quite happy about it. During this pandemic, wherever I went or whenever I spoke to any decision maker of the company who gives us business, I pleaded to them, look, if you give us the business, we'll be able to hire more people in the hotel. I had 480 people in my hotel before pandemic. However, we have been able to retain almost about 200 people who have come back to work. And slowly we will get all the people who used to work with us back to the work. So a lot has been said about the hospitality industry, but I want to tell you, as Indians, hospitality is in our blood. Having opened 5 hotels in our country, especially the southern part of the country, where Vijayawada and Vizag and Chennai, I opened 5 hotels between 2005 and 15, hiring so many people, hiring thousands of people. I want to tell you, with my experience traveling 40 countries, bringing a lot of material to open new hotels, I would like to share my experience that hospitality is in our blood in India. And I have traveled to several countries where I found that the hospitality is never equal to Indian hospitality, because Atithi Devo Bhava is our culture. When somebody comes to our home, we offer water. we are very hospitable as Indians. That is our culture. So hospitality is nothing. It is already there in our blood. It is just that when you choose the career in hospitality industry, it is just that you have to hone your skills. Also, I'd like to tell you that we have to have right attitude. If you have a right attitude, you will be very, very successful. One more important thing, which is very, very, which is worth mentioning here, is the passion. Now, if you have passion, then you will only succeed in the hospitality industry. It is very, very imperative for all of us when we choose the hospitality industry. We should know that there is a lot of hard work which you have to put in, especially in 4 or 5 years when you are establishing your career. I have seen a lot of people who join hospitality industry and give up in first 6 months, 2, 3, or maybe in 2, 3 years, they give up because first 3 to 4 years are really struggling because unfortunately in the hospitality industry, we don't get paid so well earlier. Things are changing now. As far as the work-life balance, also things are changing. My son works with Novotel in Pullman, which is a core. And when I started my career in 1988, almost 33 years ago, I was getting 4 offs. And that too sometimes was difficult. My son gets 8 off in a month. He's a duty manager. So he gets 8 offs. So things are changing as far as as far as choosing career in the hospital industry, things are changing. I would like to also mention that with right attitude, with passion, it is also important that when you are in the hospitality industry, you should know how to groom yourself well. Your body language, the way you dress yourself, the way you speak. Mr. Veer Vijay Singh did say that language is important. I put an emphasis that 50%, you may be talented. If you're not able to express properly, you will never be successful. When I hired so many people in hospitality industry, what I saw first was the attitude of the guy who I am going to hire, integrity part, and then the communication. So communication is very, very, very important in the hospitality industry. The way you groom yourself, as Mr. Veer Vijay Singh said, that your personality, the way you groom yourself, and the way you go about handling the people is very important. And I want to tell you that in hospitality industry, when we work in a hotel, it is not like an office scenario. Every day is a new day. Every day is an interesting day. You handle. I think I have handled all the cricketing teams in the world except Bangladesh. I've handled a lot of VIPs, and all of our hospitality professionals who have been working for a while, all have handled multiple VIPs, multiple large movements, and diplomats and sports people. So it is a very, very interesting job. I know this pandemic which has hit, and I would like to advise each one of you, and I want to ask you, or rather tell you, that how do you utilize your time during the pandemic? Learning online is never ever easy. That personal touch or that feeling of going to the hotel management college is a very, very different feeling, which you're not able to get at the moment. So the most important advice from my side at the moment during the pandemic is that keep yourself busy, enhance your skills, go about learning all your books, go about learning your curriculum. You should be very technically strong. So besides having a good personality, communication skill, your technical knowledge is very, very important in your success when you go for the campus selection or when you go for an interview. Now, a couple of advices when you go for the interview. These days, when I go for campuses, most times, most of the people or most of the budding hoteliers want to become management trainee. Not everybody can become management trainee because everybody has his own skill set and different kind of personalities. So not everybody can be selected as management trainee. So don't go after only management trainee. I'm not saying that you cannot get selected. What I'm trying to say is that try to get into the industry by getting any job, okay? And you will only get the job if you have those technical abilities and your body language is right, you're speaking well, you have a positive attitude. So it is very, very important that you are very outgoing. You can't be introvert in this industry. You should love talking to people. You should love interacting with the guest. So I would like to tell you that if you want to be a successful hotelier, first of all, when you choose hospitality, think about it. If you have a passion, then only you can do it. I want to give you an example of my own younger son, who since 7th standard, he told me that I want to become a pilot. And we kept on telling him, are you sure about it? So he said, Dad, I'm very sure about it. I want to be a pilot only. This is my decision. So it takes about 1.5 crore rupees to spend for this education. So I said, are you sure? So then we realized that he's really serious. So when he got selected as a management trainee or a cadet pilot program in SpiceJet, he was sent to US. All 28 boys and girls were selected out of 29,000 people were sent to US. He was the first one. In 6.5 months, he got the commercial pilot license. 12 guys out of those 28 are still in US. And my son came back. He went in February, came back in October, which means he had passion. When you have passion, then only you can succeed in life. Rest will follow. If you have a passion, then you will work hard. You will try to acquire the requisite skills. You will be very honest to your job. You'll be very punctual. You'll be very dedicated. So all those things are very, very important. As everybody said, in hospitality industry, it is really, you have to work very, very hard in this industry. Nothing comes easy. And if you survive for 3, 4, 5 years and you have a right skill set and you have got a good job, you will not go anywhere. I know all the hospitality professionals who go into this industry, not even 50% are absorbed in the hotels. People choose, but the advantage is that the kind of skills you get out of doing the hotel management, you're preferred in banks, you're preferred in airlines, you're preferred in cruises, so different other companies. So there is a lot of scope, in the hospitality industry. Don't get discouraged by the pandemic. There are a lot of hotels which are stopped, about to open. The hotel will start to hire in a big way now when the pandemic goes. After vaccination, there is a lot of confidence in the market. As I said, in this month, in first 10 days, I have almost about 220 rooms occupied in my hotel every day, which means things are changing for good. And when things change for good, when the people start to get the confidence, they start to travel. And when they travel, travel agencies, hotels, and airlines are very interlinked. And we have seen that load in the airlines have also increased in the last week or 10 days. So things are coming back, guys. Be very happy. Don't frustrate yourself. Try to acquire new skills. Don't just wake up late night, watch Netflix and all those things. You can do that as well. By side, try to acquire the new skills. Be it the MS Word, MS Excel, or doing PowerPoint presentations, or you're studying your curriculum. My advice is that please go hard on your studies, build up your personality, go do exercises. You own your body. What's with you is your body. You need to be very healthy. And especially in the hospital industry, as we work in 3 shifts, we work hard, we work for long hours. So we need to be healthy. One more last advice. When you go for an industrial training program in a hotel, unfortunately, still, despite of, lot of efforts by the hotels, the industrial trainees are not treated so well in the hospitality industry, which is very unfortunate. Whenever you get chance to be doing the industrial training in the hotel, try to utilize your time in a right manner. There are a lot of students I saw, they just pass time, they enjoy because they come from different places and go to different cities to do industrial trainings. My advice is do the industrial training with a lot of seriousness, because when you go back and you are hired in a hotel, that will really help you in your day-to-day life. So God bless all of you. I would like to thank Mr. Pradeep Chandel for this opportunity, and I wish Hospitality Ki Pathshala does very well, because it's a very noble and a great initiative. So thank you so much, gentlemen, and you have a wonderful evening, and look forward to see you soon. Thank you.
Lovely, sir. It was a learning from you here. So, sir, I got to know that you've been in Nagpur for almost 2 to 3 years, and today we are sharing the screen. We are here at a Pride Hotel. So, just want to ask you, do you miss Nagpur? Do you miss Pride Hotels?
I really miss Pride Hotel. Between 2000 to 2003, for 3 years, I was in this hotel where you are sitting right now. I was first the front office manager, then rooms division manager, and as a rooms division manager, I was handling the whole hotel. I know Bhuti Buri, Hingna, and all that. My son used to go to the Bhuti Buri. There was a school, and I used to live very close to the hotel. Nagpur is very green. People are very friendly, and I really miss being in Nagpur. And recently, last year in March, we had a budget conference for Pride Group Hotel, where I went to Nagpur to revisit my memories. So it's a beautiful hotel, bank opposite the airport. And Sujit, who's the general manager of the hotel, is a very able person. So I really miss being in Nagpur, but Nagpur is an amazing town. I wish all the best to people in Nagpur. Mr. Pradeep Chandel, thank you so
Lovely,
much.
lovely. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Nagpurians would love to ask this. That's why I couldn't stop myself to ask you this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Lovely, lovely. Thank you, sure, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you. We'll see you in the end for some small question answer round.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I would like to ask Mr. Arif Ahmed to please come and join the screen with us.
In this particular topic. First and foremost, I would, wish a good evening to the gentlemen out there, Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, Mr. Benjamin, Mr. Pradeep Chandel, and Mr. Shoaib. Mr. Singh, I would like to tell you that when you were there at the Taj Krishna, I was a small senior sales executive at Viceroy under Mr. Ejaz Ali Khan. Every Monday morning he will get me a page three picture of yours from the Times of India, from the Deccan Chronicle, and then say, look, he is Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, and he'll give me a lecture about you. So I have spent some good time listening about you, hearing about you. And now I'm so glad that I'm one of the members sitting along with you. This I should be thankful and grateful to Mr. Pradeep that he thought that I could be a member sitting in this particular panel and could add some words valuable to the students, if at all anybody is hearing this, to the members whom we have circulated. We have circulated these links to many people, inviting them to join us. See, it is easy that we are talking about the profession within amongst ourselves, but for the young students who don't know what to do, believe you me, hotel management is the best profession. As Mr. Singh said, that if you have passion, if you are ready for long hours, if you are ready to pick up a soiled plate, if you are ready to pick up a dirty thing, if you are how do I say, extrovert to go and talk to people, this is the best profession. Pandemic of course has dented a lot of morale of the promoters, of the owners, of the senior level people or the junior level people. They were jobless for certain time. Owners were not making money, so it is not an easy show to carry on. It is a big show to carry on. But then my dad is an army man. He used to tell me, either you get into an army or you get into hoteliering. He used to relate both the professions as one. I never used to understand how both the professions are one. But now, after spending 24 years, I understand, yes, army and us, forces and hoteliering is same. As Mr. Singh said again in the evening today, whilst the whole world is celebrating Diwali, we are serving the guest. Whilst the whole world is celebrating New Year, we are dressed up completely and serving the guest. So it's not an easy profession, by the way. It's not an easy profession, by the way, but it is all about passion. Gentlemen, I would be happy and not shy away from my personal growth. I started with 840 rupees in 96, and thanks to God Almighty and to probably my hard work and my peers' support, my seniors' support, and my colleagues who believed in me, my owners who believed in me, that I am at least 50 times away from where I started. Thanks to God Almighty. AHPWI, unfortunately or fortunately, my fellow panel members have not mentioned about it. Pradeep ji, me, and a few other colleagues have thought about it, discussed hours about it, saying, can we start a new association? See, there are already a dozen of associations available in the country of India. We were discussing, saying that if we start, we should not close. The whole idea, the legal experts, the professional experts, the veterans of the industry have said, so many associations start but close off or shut door after 6 months. So we somehow had that gut feeling that no, we will start off. And I think thankfully this is the 4th year. Pradeep ji, I don't know, he doesn't collect any money from members, he doesn't collect money from seniors, so I really don't know how is he running the show. Pradeep ji, don't hesitate to ask any funds, by the way. Now coming back to the hospitality ki pathshala, believe you me, gentlemen and young students, please prefer this particular foray of industry. In any profession you might fail. Hospitality, if you maintain your passion, if you maintain your fitness, if you maintain your ethics, if you maintain your loyalty, if you maintain your integrity, age is just a number. I have seen people who have been working at the age of 70 also in our industry. So age is not a number. I mean, age is just not a constraint. If you maintain your fitness, if you maintain your professional zeal towards this particular industry, so please, most welcome. We need many more of you guys. Please come into our industry. Anything left, I'm very sorry. By the format, I'm the junior most, hence I took the last chance to speak. But then already my 3-4 seniors who spoke before me have already addressed this particular issue, and that's it. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Veer Vijay Singh.
All right, so we're done with the individual speeches here. So we just take 10 minutes more for the small question answer round for people who are watching us here. So firstly, we would like to ask to Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, sir. Sir, can I have sir on the screen with me? We can share. Yes. So just a small thing we would like to ask you: how hotel industries will revive now after this situation? How hotel industries will revive now?
Everybody's mind, and there are a lot of predictions people are trying to make. I think the most difficult one is it's not so easy to say, but I have in my a couple of interviews as well as articles been a little positive about it. Yes, to be frank, we never envisaged the second wave, and the second wave hit us a little bit unexpectedly. But talking about how would this revive, I personally feel that if the third wave does not come, and I think today, if you see, practically we are now getting into this vaccination program seriously. The Prime Minister has announced the central government will be taking over the vaccines. It will be given complimentary, free to all. And if the vaccination program can be done fast, and there are enough vaccines produced for the people here, then I think anyway we're doing moderately a good job. We are sometimes vaccinating every day New Zealand or every day one of the European countries. So once this is done, with the vaccination happening fast, I think by end of this year we'll see, or maybe the next couple of months, we'll see some good domestic pickup, which is very important. And then the foreign business as such will only come, I would say, next year. So 2022 would be October onwards, good for the foreign business to come in, airlines to start full out. In the meanwhile, I think the domestic business will pick up with quite a strong, I would say, push. So that's my prediction.
Lovely. That's such a positive note to this prediction. Hopefully, whatever you said will just come true. Thank you so much to answer to this question. Thanks, sir. Next, we would like to ask Mohammed Shoaib, sir. Can I request backstage team to please share the screen with us? Mohammed Shoaib, sir. Yes, sir. So, especially, okay, before that, I want to ask you, where are you sitting right now?
So please don't mind my, the clothing or the grooming, because I'm in Manali having a holiday.
That's the best outfit for Manali, I would say.
Yes. So the last 1.5 years have been very tormenting for the hoteliers. Not only it has taken a toll on your body, but also on your mind. So it is always better, work-life balance is important. So I took out some time, and I'm in Manali with my whole family for last 1 week.
Lovely. We Nagpurians would always envy to the thing that we should at least go to hills, as Nagpur is a hot city, right? Lovely. So, sir, as you were sitting at the hills now, so we would like to ask you on that thing. Especially hills पे जाना अभी कितना safe है?
So now there are very strict norms at the moment in all the hill stations that you have to have the RT-PCR report, as well as you have to apply online and get an e-pass. It's not easy, and there are not too many tourists here in Manali. But just 2 days back only, there's a news now that since 14th of this month, there will not be any restrictions on travel. People can come here without the RT-PCR report or the COVID negative report. I think the tourism will increase in the region. The weather is amazing here, about 20 degrees, between 12 to 20 degrees or 22 degrees, so which is an amazing weather. As we discussed earlier, besides the corporate locations, the resort locations are bound to do well because we will not have external tourism. Obviously, we will not have foreign travelers who coming to India because of the restrictions. Hence, domestic tourism, hospitality will depend on the domestic tourism, and resort locations like Manali, Mussoorie, Nainital, or any other resort locations. Not even resort locations, but also the cities like Agra and Jaipur are bound to do well on the weekends, especially. And a lot of MICE conferences will also move towards the hill stations by virtue of having wonderful weather and having wonderful oxygen here, and the weather is so beautiful. So I think a lot of business will move to resort locations in the coming time. And as Mr. Singh said, next year only we will have the international travelers, and in Delhi or in metro cities we depend a lot on the foreign travelers or the inbound tourism. However, we depend on the domestic tourism, and I wish everyone all the best for the coming time. Stay fit, keep yourself safe, and Corona is still not gone, so maintain all the regular protocols. COVID.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So I'm sure after your answer and after this webinar, we all are super motivated to travel to hills now.
Yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. All right. So next, we would like to ask one question to Mr. Dipendra Benjamin, if you can add him. All right, sir. Welcome back, sir. Sir, just a small one question to you.
Yeah,
As we saw in the news and everywhere media that Goa was terribly affected with this. So, especially in South India and Goa, जो हमारा खास इंडिया की tourism शान है. So, how we gonna develop back to this South India and Goa tourism?
So, Goa, we were surprised to see the amount of business that we were able to do in 2020 itself. We indeed had touched figures on the financials, on the revenue front, to close to 70% of what was the figures in 2019. So Goa, I am very confident that once the lockdown moves out, which is expected to be opened up from the 17th of June, July onwards, we will again see good momentum picking up there. Locations in South, especially the ones which are drivable distance and leisure locations, will rebound back very, very quickly and very fastly on a very fast mode. And specific to Goa, Goa has the advantage of being at a drivable distance from not just Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, all these surrounding states. So there's a huge business that travels over there and supports that particular location, which has always been a happening place for leisure travel. And having said that, the rest of India also prefers to travel to Goa. We've already started seeing queries pouring in post July onwards. We've already started seeing queries of bookings, of bulk bookings coming in, of a lot of travel agent and tour operator queries coming in. So I am confident that Goa as such will rebound back much more faster than the other parts of the country. Thank you.
Lovely. So glad to hear this. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. And last but not the least, we would also like to ask Arif sir to please come and join the screen for the last question of the webinar.
Please go ahead.
So, sir, just overall, how about Central India industries?
Sorry, please repeat.
How about Central India industries?
Central India. Central India. See, currently I'm sitting in Raipur. I would say our food and beverage business has already picked up 60% of what we were doing before pandemic. Rooms,
So
of
that's
course,
wow.
rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wow. Actually, my bar seating capacity is 120. We are doing 90 seats every single day from June 1st onwards. We are averaging 90 seats a day, which is super good. This is Raipur. This is a
Commendable.
commercial city. People love to travel. Similar like Nagpur, similar like Bilaspur. But then Central India, according to me, is great. If our neighboring states open, our neighboring states like Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Maharashtra, if they open their lockdowns and Orissa, then I'm sure we will do great business. I was the executive director for Babylon Group of Hotels. I have my colleagues there who are still working as GMs and so on. I keep talking to them. Their weddings for July, August, September, of course, August and September are a little less. July, October, November, December, already advances are being paid for these weddings. So I can see there is a lot of bounce back actually, for which I'm very glad actually.
Lovely. So I'm sure, especially Chhattisgarh state, Raipur, वहाँ लोगों की energy अलग level की रहती है. So just wait for the right moment.
Bilkul. They want to come out, they want to spend. Their spending capacity is quite high in comparison to other cities I've worked. I worked in Vizag, I've worked in Hyderabad. If you leave alone the Middle East, yes, Raipur is a much more vibrant city in comparison to the other cities. So I'm very glad.
Absolutely.
Thank
Lovely.
you. Thank
So
you.
overall, we're
Thank you.
getting all the positive notes on the unlock and the current industry situation. Lovely.
Certainly.
Lovely. Thank you so much, sir. So,
Pleasure mine. Thank you.
Thank you. So, just in last, if all the great personalities are with us, if overall we can have a small discussion on anything, if you people say
Yes, why not?
anything you want to add on something, or you want to talk to each other for a while.
No, I guess if we need to get more support on AHPWI, and we need to get more support on hospitality ki Pathshala, because it has been started by Pradeep ji, but then he needs more hands to support him now. I'm too small to ask, but then we can always start.
Absolutely right. Anybody who want to add on?
Well, if I can just add, it's very interesting to see. Thanks to Pradeep ji, he's got us on one platform. But today we are 6 of us here, and I think we know each other. All of us know so well. I was very happy to hear from Mohammad Arif saying that he'd been in Viceroy. I remember Viceroy with Azaz Ali, and that hotel did extremely well. Did better than what Marriott's ever did.
Yes,
Shoaib has been a great colleague. We worked together so much in Pride in Delhi. Dipinder Benjamin has been in the Taj, and he's now doing so well in Morph Hotels. Mr. Sudhir Andrew has been very well known in our industry, especially as an educationist. So this is an industry that even if you are in the competition, the fraternity works very closely. The fraternity works very strongly together. And it is so nice to see that this kind of a thing Mr. Pradeep Chandel ji has started. And as Arif said, that yes, we need to see how do we support him. It's a very good, many people don't do this, and everything everybody does is only with the intention of business. But he's done something for education, something for hospitality. And I think we must support him, and we wish him all the very best. That's basically from my side, but I'm sure love to talk to other people.
Thank you.
So I want to say a few words as well. I really, it is a very, although it's on a holiday, but fortunately or unfortunately, I've been attending these kind of webinars very regularly. I spoke about the leadership for 2 hours with the Amity University student 2 days ago on leadership, on subject of leadership, which was a great session. And a couple of days back also another session. Now this is the third session. I'm really loving it. As far as my colleagues are concerned, we all know each other. Mr. Veer Vijay Singh, when I was the GM of Novotel in Visakhapatnam between 2000, I lived in Andhra from 2005 to 2000, almost about 2013. 2005 to 13, I was in Andhra. So Mr. Veer Vijay himself is a brand. Yeah, he's a patient for sure. And when I met him for the first time, and he was associated with Pride Group Hotels, he was our mentor, and we used to meet. When I met him for the first time, I told him, "Look, I was in shock and awe when I saw him because I used to see him in the newspapers." As far as Dipendra Benjamin is concerned, he's a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine and amazing hotelier. He has managed such a large, group like Ramada in India, the Wyndham Group, and he has a connection from Nagpur as well. He's from Nagpur as well. When I was friend of his man and room service man, he used to work for other hotel. It's a very small industry. Arif, no, I mean very close to me. Arif is like a brother also. And when I opened 4 Point by Sheraton, he was working with the ITC hotels in Hyderabad, and he wanted to come back to Vizag. And we worked together in 4 Point by Sheraton. He was the director of sales and marketing in a hotel where I was heading. Then when I became the GM of an hotel in Visakhapatnam, he was the GM of 4 Point by Sheraton, which was a competitive hotel, competition hotel. And Mr. Pradeep Chandel, obviously. So we work very closely with Arif in the same city as a competition as well. But we have been meeting all the time. We have been in touch with Mr. Dipendra Benjamin. Also, the relationship is like a very homely relationship and a friendly relationship. Pradeep Chandelji, recently also he visited Delhi and stayed with me, and we have had a good chat, and we have been talking for a very long time. I know him also more than 20 years. So it's a very, very small industry and a very referral industry. That's the reason we always say don't burn bridges. You are a brand yourself. So I want to tell you a small incident. When I was the GM of no hotel in Visakhapatnam, I had already opened 3 hotels by that time, and people in Andhra knew me. Mr. Prabhu Kishore, who was the owner of the hotel, he's one of the richest men in Andhra and the largest automobile dealer in the country. He's the owner of the hotel. And Jean-Michel Casse, who was the chief operating officer of the Accor hotels, and he hired me as a general manager of no hotel in Visakhapatnam. With a lot of pride, I used to say, and I used to joke with Mr. Prabhu Kishore and Mr. Jean-Michel Casse, look, Mr. Casse, you are a core. You are the 3rd largest hotel company in the world. Mr. Prabhu Kishore, you are the richest person. But me, as Shoaib Mohammed, I'm also brand. A lot of business comes by my name because I'm connected. So, you have to feel proud. You have to become a brand in yourself in a small or a big way. Every one of us are in the market. So it's very important that you should make that mark by your hard work. That's it.
Lovely. So I guess you all shared your views here. It was a lovely experience, immense learning we especially got from this webinar. So last but not the least, any formal event is incomplete without a formal vote of thanks. So with me we have founder chairman of Hospitality Ki Pathshala, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Chandel. So I would like to ask him to please do the formal vote of thanks.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank
Good
you
evening,
very much.
Pradeep. Good evening.
It was very good moment for us. Thank you, Mr. Suhail Mohammed. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin, my old friend. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed Arif ji. And
Thank you.
thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Professor Sudhir ji. Without this program cannot be completed. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, us.
Thank
Pleasure,
you.
us.
Pleasure.
God bless.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.
Pleasure meeting you all.
Lovely. So last but not least, a big celebration.
Have a nice weekend, everybody, gentlemen. Have a
Webinar
nice
was
weekend.
amazing.
Have a nice
Poonam,
weekend.
enjoy the Pride hospitality.
I will thank you. Hope to see you on in person. I'm lucky enough to see you all in person wherever people are. Thanks a lot, and please keep giving your guidance to us.
Have a nice weekend.
All the
Thank
best.
you,
All the
sir.
best.
Thank you so much, and
Bye.
wish you all
Bye.
the same. Goodbye, everybody. This is me,
Bye.
Poonam Sukhiya, signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.